Hey Robert, so I went ahead and made the couple changes that we had talked about, and I wanted to actually talk you through this so you knew exactly what was going on, so it's a little more clear. So I went ahead and brought out this edge of the benchwork. I just brought it back to the corner where this actually used to curve into a small radius to come back to here. So it used to go from here to here. I just moved it out that 2.5 feet, I think it was, or 3 feet, whatever it is. Um, Doing that, I was able to move the main line back to the actual main lines away from this siding where it was originally. I did take the two tracks back down to one because this is actually a one track yard through here, and then this is all one track through here, so it makes more sense to leave it a single track. What I did for the tie-in to get the track to the other side um, is this was coming up as a double track anyway, down from staging. So it comes from over here and it wraps around this island here and then pops up. So rather than turning this into a single track here with one switch and then just going up the ramp, I installed another set of crossovers here. And what this does is this still allows you to use this ramp from here, wrapping all the way down to the double crossovers that are down here on, what is it, module 17, I think it is. So you can still park a train on there if you wish. And or you could bring a train in or out from the yard on one track or the other and then bring it to this set of crossovers to select which side you're going up once you get it back on the surface level. Now, what I'm doing here is through a process of playing with the grades a little bit, is this track here from this crossover coming over to this direction is only going to gain 1 inch. But what that does is that allows you to basically dip underneath this blue main line here going the other direction. And then to better explain all of that, I actually wrote in the track heights here. Now keep in mind that I'm actually going to build the benchwork itself. The benchwork framing is most likely going to sit at 44 inches. And then the track will be lifted above that. So a lot of this track here will sit 4 inches above that benchwork. So the main yard here, that's all going to be sitting at 48 inches. And then the other side of the visual divider, that's still going to be at 48 inches for this whole segment here. So the main yard on this side, this subsequent yard, I'm not really sure what this is actually for, but these two yards are all going to be the same height. They're just going to sit 4 inches above the benchwork. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you some leeway for the foreground or even the background to drop the scenery down up to 4 inches, which also gives you the opportunity to put like a road underpass in or something like that. Anyway, so what it's going to do is you come out of the big yard here. It's all at 48 inches. And then it's going to start dropping down. So from this side here to this side here, we're going to lose 4 inches. But keep in mind that we're losing 4 inches in the equivalent of about 20 feet. So this drawing is a little deceiving in the instance that, I mean, this little itty bitty square here is 12 inches. That's actually a foot. But, visually in front of me, it's less than a half inch across. So anyway, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. So we got almost 20 feet between here and here. And I can always move it down a little bit. But anyway, we dropped the 4 inches to do the under over here. We bring it up to 48 inches, which is our normal height, and then that stays flat coming into this yard over here. So visually, when you're standing over here in the corner, the forward track is going to be 4 inches lower than the back track. Not that you'll be able to see it because there'll be a visual divider from probably about here going all the way through the layout and ending way over here. But anyway, so yeah, there'll be a 4 inches difference here. So over on once you get past the turnaround here, we're at 48 inches, 48 inches. This is all 48 inches over here, all the way to this switch here, which is where the ramp starts to go down into the staging area. From there, that's where the layout gets a little bit weird. So the blue main line is going to stay at 48 inches all through here. Meanwhile, the yellow, which is the lines going down to the staging, that's going to start grading down. So it'll be somewhere between 4 and 5 inches down once it gets to here. So that's why I've got it listed as 44. And then, coming down 2 more modules, this will almost be at 40 inches versus the nominal 48 of the main line here. So at this point, we're getting into the graded track that goes down into the staging yards. So anyway, I hope this kind of gives you a rough idea of what's going on. Again, over here, the main line, this is all 48 through here. And then once it gets over here by this other turntable, it is going to start grading down. So we'll start at 48 here, and by the time we get to the other side of the layout here, it will be at 44 inches, but then all of this is going to be at 44 inches. So this yard is going to be level, this yard is going to be level, and then there's just a grade between the two. And that's actually going to help visually as well, because the backdrop's stopping right here in front of the turntable. This is going to afford you the opportunity to play with the scenery a little bit to get that transition to look right. So it won't just be a wall in the middle of it. You'll have some scenery wrapping around it, and it'll be gently falling on the track to make it more visually appealing. And then over here, the track is going to start rising gently again, where the other track has dipped underneath the other main line, popped out of the scenery backdrop here. So there'll still be a tunnel, but it's going to be in the neighborhood of 2 feet versus the 10 feet that we had previously. And then that just ties in that way. So that gives you the opportunity to either go clockwise or counterclockwise with your trains, bringing them up onto the main deck. So anyway, I hope this helps you understand a little bit of where my thinking is. And if you have any questions, obviously, feel free to ask.